Welcome COP 1000 students. In this video, we are going to create our very first C program. So I'm going to go Windows Start, and I'm going to go into Dev C. You might find that multiple places other than your Start menu. You might find it down here on your taskbar, and so on. So you might have to look for it, but here it is, Dev C. We just installed it. When I go into Dev C, this is my default screen. So I have file, edit, search, and so on. For now, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to create our very first program. So we're going to say file, new. Move this over so you can see this. One more time, file, new. And I'm going to say file, new, source file. File, new, source file. That brings me into my very first document. Notice I am on something called Untitled Line 1. Untitled Line 1. Every C program that you're going to write, whether it be in my class or someone else's, should have what I call a comment header. So maybe in your comment header, you might wish to have something like written by, and then your name. And then I like my students to have date, written, November 2018, for example, and purpose. Purpose in this program will be just demonstrating writing some simple little program that doesn't do a whole lot. So there's my comment header. My comment header is going to say who wrote this program, the date they wrote this program, and maybe something about what this program is about to do. Don't need to be this fancy, but I highly do recommend it. The next thing we're going to have is another comment. And by the way, a comment, as your instructor is going to teach you, begins with the double // and that's most languages, not just C. Okay, so right after my comment header, I'm going to have something called my pre-process of directives. Some people call it the pound includes. And I'm going to include 2 pound includes and let your instructor tell you that these are library files. And in these are found tools for input and output, and here are the standard library tools. So again, you'll learn more about what these are for. So in these tools, or library of tools, are what we're going to call built-in functions. Next, I'm going to start my program, and all programs start with a function called main. Main is your point of beginning. It's your point of beginning in C. It's your point of beginning in C++, Java, and so on. After the name main will come a left and right paren. Some videos or some textbooks, you're going to see something in the middle, and you're going to see int over here. To keep it as simple as possible, none of that is necessary, so I'm going to have main, left paren, right paren, and then this curly bracket. So in this case, this bracket and this bracket or brace go together as a pair, left and a right, and they mark the beginning and ending of a block. This block is going to be the end of the function main. So main begins here and ends down here. I'm going to have a single statement displayed on the screen, and that's going to be using this printf function, which your instructor will tell you about. And this program is simply going to say, welcome to Valencia College. So printf is a built-in function, print formatted output. Inside of the left and right paren, because all functions like main have a left and right paren, inside of the left and right paren, it's going to be a string of characters that say, welcome to Valencia. That string of characters is going to be inside of double quotes. And this guy right here is an escape sequence standing for new line. So think of the old character or typewriter days, maybe a carriage return or pressing enter on the keyboard, taking the cursor down to the next line like that. This is your first C statement. These are not statements in C, but this line is line 11, and all statements in C must end in a semicolon. The last thing I might want to do is call one more built-in function. And this guy is called system. And system's a built-in command. It's like the old DOS commands, if anybody's familiar with that. And I can pass this argument called pause to this built-in function called system. And all that's going to do is after I display welcome to Valencia College, a new line is going to happen and it's going to say press any key to continue. So now let's run this for the first time. We're going to run the program by hitting compile and run, or you can also see that is an F11. So since this is the very first time we ran it, and I know that because there's no name here yet, it's going to stop and it's going to ask me. It's going to stop and ask me for the file name. So I'm going to call this my first program. And a key component here is to make sure that ends in a .c, and this says C source files. So make sure this guy ends in a .c, and this is C source files. Up here where it says save in is where this C source document will reside. So I created a folder called Intro Programming Videos, and this is where this program is going to go. I hit save, and notice the program just ran. Welcome to Valencia College, press any key to continue. And finally, notice it now says my first program.c. So it's been saved. Every time I run it, it gets saved again. Every time it runs, it gets saved again. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm finished for now, is I'm going to come up here to the left, X out, and I'm done. See you in the next video.